Welcome everybody to the every other Tuesday ECMD experience. We're gonna have an amazing interview tonight. I think you're really gonna enjoy it. And this man has so many accolades. I'm not gonna even be able to read them all, but I'm gonna tell you some of them. I'm gonna tell you some of them. The list was so long. And in fact, let me go back to my email. That list was so damn long. See, I had to cut off the volume off the YouTube too. Some of the things you got to do. Let's see. 1 second here. I'm gonna give y'all some of the people he's worked with. And also, right now in his website, I'm gonna put that in the chat in a minute. Wait till some more people get in here. Y'all can remind me. First of all, we talked about Herb Middleton. I'm gonna tell you about him in a minute. But let's go to some people he's worked with. Just see these names. How about names like Al Green? This is alphabetical order. Al B. Sure, Alyson Williams, Ann Nesby, AZ, Barry Eastmond, co-production, Benzino, rapper TV star, Biggie, like Notorious B.I.G., Big Bub, remember Big Bub? I think it was in Today. Bobby Brown, a New Edition, Brownstone, Changing Faces, Chad Elliott, co-production, Christopher Williams, singer, TV star, all of that. Crystal Johnson, Faith Evans, Notorious B.I.G.'s wife and the famous Faith Evans. Freddie Jackson, Rock Me Tonight. You Are My Lady, Freddie Jackson. Floetry, Glenn Jones. I'm in contact with these people right now. Glenn Lewis, Forecast, 4KAST. Jazzy Jeff, Jaguar Wright, Jamecia Bennett, Jeffrey Osbourne, John Legend, Kardinal Offishall, Kelly Price, Kenny Latimore, Lil Mo, Les co-production, Mary J. Blige, Maxine Jones, former member of EnVogue, Method Man, Melba Moore, Eminem, Nas, No Question, Otis Williams from the original Temptations, Crystal Johnson featuring Phife, Tribe Called Quest, Phylis Hyman, Philadelphia Boy Choir, Pilgrim Cathedral Choir, Raheem DeVaughn, Sounds of Blackness, Subway, SWV, Teddy Pendergrass, Tichina Arnold, Total on Bad Boy, Usher, Usher Raymond, Vincent Herbert, famous producer, Will Smith, what record labels and companies he's dealt with, Atlantic Records, Arista, Bad Boy Entertainment, Columbia Records, Def Jam, Epic, Jive, RCA, Rough House, MCA Records, Motown, LaFace, Sony, Tracy Lynn Jury, Smooch's Smooch's Woman Magazine, Tracy Lynn Ministries, Called to Be One Dance Group, Christiana Care Hospital, documentary score for doctors. Is that list long enough for you guys? Well, I welcome you, Mr. Herb Middleton, superstar Mr. Herb Middleton. How you doing tonight, Herb?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Thank you. Thank you. You brought me down memory road. Down, I forgot about a lot of those names you mentioned.
I hear you. That happens to me sometimes too. People be saying stuff. I was on a TV show recently that I had recorded like 4 or 5 years ago, and I'm like, I don't remember saying that. So I
Yeah,
definitely get that. So how you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, man. I'm blessed. Thank God. A little tired, but I'm
Oh, I hear
here.
you. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure you be up all time of day and night making music. Where are you
yeah.
from? Where are you from?
I'm originally from New York, Bronx, New York, but I live in Delaware right now, the first state.
Okay. You live in that state where everybody's trying to get their corporations at and stuff.
Right,
Okay.
right, right, right.
Okay. How was your family life growing up?
How was my family life? My family, I grew up under, my mother and father, they had an apartment in the Bronx, so that's where it all started. And I shared a room with my brother and who's now resting, and my sister, she had another room. So it was kind of cool. We had a little family, little close knit family, but everybody spread out as they got older, obviously.
Was any of your family involved with the music industry or any entertainment?
No, my brother was actually, he was just my brother, he was just a music, he was just loved music, and actually he's responsible for all of the music that I listened to at an early age. So it really helped me. He inspired me in a lot of different ways. Because of him, I'm where I am right now. I gotta give it to him, ultimately.
Um, do you do any live shows? Or you basically just produce them? What is it exactly that you're doing now?
Right now, I'm the owner of a record company and publishing company. It's called Moontown Records and Publishing. I don't do live shows. I'm really a behind the scenes guy. Have always been. I played a little bit of bass. I played bass when I was in public school, and I played for this ministry out here, for a while. But I've always been a behind the scenes guy. I like it that way, but now it's time for me to step out here a little bit. You know.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm a behind the scenes guy too, but I have to step up when DJ Punch want to party sometimes. So I gotta step up. That's how it works sometimes.
Okay.
What major awards or accolades that you have? Because I haven't gotten to all your things yet. Like I know you've been you know had multiple Grammy nominations and stuff. But what give us some
Yeah.
ideas of some of the things that you had.
Mary J. Blige, my life record that, what I'm saying, Total, those Kenny Latimore, it's a lot of records that got nominated. And but ultimately I was a part of it. Like again, I was behind the scenes then, and I didn't really, to be totally honest, I never paid a lot of attention. I was just to the awards. I just would did the work, you know. Not that I don't appreciate them and all the accolades, everything, but I just love doing what I do, man. This musical gift is a gift from God, and I just I just give it back, give it all to Him, and hope the people love what I do, and the people that I produce. That's all it is with me. It's real simple.
Yeah, just put your companies in a chat here on Zoom. I'm gonna say what they are for the people that's watching on YouTube and not able to see the chat here. And that's
Okay.
the website is moontowntunes.com. That's Moon Moon
Yeah,
Town
yeah.
TOWN TUNES.com. Moontown Records and Publishing, correct?
No, the company's website is moontownent.com.
I
That's
put that in
where.
there too. That's in there too. I put that in there
Oh,
also.
okay, okay,
Yeah, I put them
yeah,
both. I put both links in there.
yeah,
And
okay,
that
good.
says, like I say, it's Moontown Moon Town TOWNENT.com, and that says Moontown Records and Publishing. Then I put Moontown City Soul / Neo Soul was the moontowntunes.com.
Right,
So yeah, I put them
right.
both in there. So you're
Okay,
good.
okay.
And I'm gonna put them there later for people that coming in late because I think on Zoom when you come in late, you can't see what was put in the chat before you came in.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay, so we good on that. Excuse me. When your artists perform, I know you had a whole bunch of artists on your website. I noticed that. And speaking of that, how does somebody get in contact with you to either get a track, maybe get a production, or how do they become one of your artists? How do they, if they want to try to impress you or sign with you and be one of the people on your website? What's the procedure for that?
Well, the procedure normally is to go to info at, well, to hire me as a producer, you have to go to info at Herb Middleton.
Okay. It's
And same thing.
INFO at Herb Middleton, like his name, HERBMIDDLETON, info
Yeah,
at Herb Middleton.
my bad, bro. Info at herbmiddletonmusic.com
Okay, herbmiddletonmusic.com.
and info at moontowneent.com.
Can you think of any favorite moments in your career? I mean, you have a very extensive career, but can you think of some moments that's like, wow, I remember this. This was a great feel when this happened. I know as you mentioned the Mary J.
Yeah,
Blige is one of the first things you mentioned earlier. So that definitely came to my mind.
yeah, that was one of them, but it's nothing like the beginning, you know. For me, having getting a call from Teddy Riley was amazing. That was like a dream, and then being picked up from the airport because he sent for me, that was like a dream come true. Because I was a New Jack Swing and God Nut, back in the day. Um, when we had the Ralph McDaniels, can't think of the show that he had. And then getting a call from Puffy, at the beginning when he was at Uptown. I didn't even really know who he was, to be honest. I was, because of his name, when I went to meet him at Uptown, I was thinking he was a chubby guy, but he was just as small as me. Um, and then Mary J. Blige, that was dope. But Al Green working with him, that tops it all. That topped it for me because I grew up listening to him with my parents playing his music. So when I got in the studio with him, I was awestruck.
Yeah, yeah. Al Green got me in trouble in college. Love and happiness. Well, those are the days.
Yeah.
What keeps you motivated?
Hmm. What keeps me motivated now is the mission to bring back classic timeless music that I grew up on. You know what I'm saying? Like the music has changed drastically, and I've always been passionate about making quality music. And so now, with me being the owner of a company like Moontown Records and Publishing. I told you, I'm sorry, brother. Moontown Records and Publishing. We focus on developing young and older talent and bringing back the quality music that we were served. And I don't know how old you are, but back in the day, we had so many we had various groups that guy groups, soloists, female soloists, male. There was Jodeci, there was Boys the Men, there was Brownstone, there was EnVogue, and even in hip hop, you had so much to pick from. And so the mission for me is just to bring back great music and create jobs and just just do good, just do great business. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd like to leave that mark that I treated people right. And looked out for the needy, spreading love, real love.
I'm glad you asked me my age. I'm 70 years old, by the way. I started in the music industry in 1973. So right
Wow.
along when hip hop was turning 50, so was I. As far as the game, I'm also in the fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, which I started back in 1973, also December 1st. And it's funny because you mentioned like the Mary J. Blige and all that. I actually knew Andre Harrell when he was in the group Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and
Wow.
I was seeing when I would go to the conference in Atlantic City. I forgot what that
Mm,
one was called, the one in Atlantic City every year. And matter of fact, I saw Boys the Men and Jodeci there when they first came out. I think they came out about the same time. And Boys the Men
right.
was like in um, your typical college jerseys And then Jodeci was like doing what they doing. To me, they were like on the even keel, but Boys and Men were more so like a, the singing on the corner type group. But it seemed like Jodeci took off first because they were doing wild things like after that conference, it was called Impact Conference in New Jersey. After that conference, I think they went somewhere down south, and one of them pulled their pants down or something, and then they just blew up. They just went viral after that. I'm talking about Jodeci. But yeah, so I
Right,
knew Andre as an artist. I knew him when he went to become the vice president of Rush Communication with Russell Simmons. Then he went on to start Uptown Records, and with all the artists that you know about. And also, of course, Russell went on to start Def Jam with Rick Rubin. And I actually have plaques for every single Uptown Records project because I was, like I was there from day one with Andre. As
right,
far not working there, but I'm talking about as I come from retail, so I was always like networking, going to New York, going to California, going wherever I got to go to network with people. So I
right.
did that, and then also I had did some concerts. I actually did a concert with Heavy D, and they were in a city and had gotten robbed of their money, their equipment, and their clothes and everything. And I drove 5 hours to the city they were in and got them their stuff back. And
Wow.
that's a story that I talked to Eddie F about it before on a Zoom call. So he verified that story with me, and also Craig. I don't know if you remember Craig, that was like the roadie for Heavy D. He actually worked with Mike Tyson for a while. He used to bring Mike Tyson in my record store all the time. But yeah, so that's a little bit about me in the industry.
Wow. Salute.
Yeah,
Salute to
thank you.
you.
When you first started, now what were you doing when you very first started in the industry? Like when you said you got the
When
call from Teddy Riley, what did Teddy want you to do?
he heard some of he heard my music and took a liking to it. Like I said, I was really a new Jack Swing, nut.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
So he heard that and called me down, said he wanted me to be one of his producers, and went down to Virginia Beach to meet him. Did a little work. Ended up writing. That's when I placed my first biggest placement as a songwriter on Bobby Brown, and that was all she wrote. So I didn't end up staying there. Things didn't work out the way I thought they would, so I went back home. Then not too long after, I got connected to Floyd Norris, God bless the dead, and signed with Download Productions. That's when I produced my first radio, It Telling Me Stories by Big Bub. And that was the song that caught Puff's attention. Then I got a call. The next thing you know, I'm working with Puff, building Bad Boy, and that was history. After that, I stayed with him for a while. Then I went out on my own and started being just a freelance producer.
Yeah, when I was asking about the when you first started with Teddy Riley, that's what I wondered, was it for production or for artists or for both? But you answered that.
It
But
was
had your
it was
style? Go ahead.
it was for my production and initially, and he came in the lounge one day and said, "Do you write?" I said, "Oh yeah, yeah, I write." So he gave me the track. I penned the first verse for this song called "One More Night" by Bobby Brown on the Just Bobby album.
Has your style changed over the years, or you feel like you're basically doing the same thing you've been doing since day one?
My style is has changed changed ridiculously. Like I used to be in, they used to I was known in the 90s for my ballads, and then when I started co-producing hip hop, that got me a little name in hip hop. But now I'm just going crazy because I'm free. You can't put me in the box. Whatever it is, I could do it by God's grace. There's nothing I can't do.
Now that you are the superstar that you are, multi-Grammy nominated, all these big time artists you dealt with that I read earlier and all that stuff. And we really just honored to have you on here. But now that you super famous, What would you now go back and tell that younger younger Herb Middleton, like by what you know now, and you said that you went down to talk with Teddy Riley and things wasn't exactly the way you thought they would be or whatever. So now, knowing what you know now, what would you tell the younger person when you're making those different moves with Teddy Riley or P Diddy or anybody you came across or the Mary J. Blige or whatever? What what would you tell that younger person now to make everything go smoother?
Um, be ed Learn the business, educate yourself. It's okay to be excited about the creative process, but you can't forget that this is a business that you're in, and if you have any kind of talent, if you can come in as a novice, but you could be just as great as somebody talent-wise that's been in it for years. And if you don't know your business, most people, not all, will take advantage of you because you don't know your worth and you don't know your business. So I would say first, become knowledgeable of the business that you're in. And also don't get in it to become famous. Get in it because you love what you do. And organically you end up rising like I did. I didn't get in the game for fame at all. You know, I don't even care about the fame, to be honest. I think I'm thankful for it, but I'm still a human being. I go to sleep at night. I have pain. I get sick. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just keep a balanced head for sure.
I just got a few more questions before I go to the audience. I know that DJ Dizzy D have a question. I know that Michael Calhoun, multi-platinum producer and Grammy winner Michael Calhoun has a question. And anybody else, please raise your hand so I can call you after those two. And so one of my other questions that when this is all said and done, when you're in my position, where I don't know if I'm a, if I'm a be walking tomorrow or slip on a banana peel and go to hell or heaven or whatever. But when it's all said and done, what do you want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered for how I treat my fellow man because you could be gifted. I know a lot of I know a lot of gifted people, right? But there's a lot of people out here that are talented, but they don't have it all together when it comes to treating people right. You know what I'm saying? Like so, I like to be one of those lights that shine, even though I have the talent that I have and the success that I have. Just treat people right. Be a businessman, but also respect your ladies, respect your fellow man. That's what I would want to be known for. I want my kids to grow up like that, respecting themselves, and respecting others. It could definitely help the world be better because the world is not really they're not big on respect right now, from the top to the bottom. You know what I'm saying? So. And love, the world's not big on love, but I'm big on love because love makes the world go round.
Hey, I remember a song saying that. Let me ask you this: what is your typical day like? I mean, there's like you say, you're kind
Ooh.
of tired now. Like, what is your typical day like?
Well, I get started very early in the morning when there's nobody awake but me and the birds. And create. That's my best time to create when there's no phone ringing. And but once the phone rings, I'm spend a lot of time on the phone, obviously because I run a business. And I'm married, so I, I'm really balanced right now. Finally, after 31 years, I got it together. Like I'm balanced as far as spending the quality time with my wife. My kids are grown, so they cool now. Um, that's the typical day, man. Talking to the staff, the workers. I enjoy what I do. You know what I mean? Like so, it's nothing like enjoying what you do. and we're a humanitarian entertainment company, so we're about doing things that not only entertain but uplift our people, people in
Yeah,
general.
and I know you got your own artists and stuff and your own company and publishing company and label and all of that. And
Right.
I'm gonna put it in the chat again because, like I said earlier, the people that come in late that can't see what's in the chat before the answer. I'm gonna put it in there while other people ask you questions. But my last question that I'm gonna ask on YouTube, because I do have some questions for you after I cut YouTube off, by the way. But
Okay, that's
I'm gonna say
cool.
them for afterwards. You said I could ask you
Okay.
anything, so
You can
I'm
ask
gonna
me
put my
anything. I don't say I'm an answer. You can ask me.
yeah, and that's true. I understand that too. But just because, but I'm just saying, I'm not going to put it on YouTube. But I'm gonna just still like be in here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anyway, are there any new artists that you've seen out here? You'd be like, wow, I wish I would have seen them first, or oh, I like to work with that person, even if they are out here dealing with somebody else. And if so, how do you approach that situation? Like say, like if you want to work with Bruno Mars, for example, how would you approach trying to work with somebody like that?
Um, I'm gonna answer that question I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I'm so focused right now on doing the things that's building the company and building, the artists that's aligned with the company, building the Moontown brand. If I run across somebody, usually people just inbox me. I get a lot of inboxes with talent, and every once in a while I get somebody that knocks me over. But you know what? So, I'm really into the whole talent. Is like because I've run into so many singers and great vocalists, but they don't have the right attitude. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the right work drive. So I stopped looking at what looks so good to me and what sounds so good, and put more energy and focus on the plans that I have and the vision that I have for my company. If I
Do you
could
go to
be
conferences
totally
now? You go to conferences now?
every so often. I just got invited to one in August, and attend that one. And but yeah, if they invite me and the business is right, I'll show up.
Yeah. Here's why I asked you that question. Because I was going to ask you, how many times have you been at a conference or somewhere in public and artists say, oh, wow, you're a great person. I would really appreciate if you listen to my song. It's like, how many times you hear that in a day or a year?
Oh, I hear that frequently, but
Yeah.
it's like, listen to somebody's song takes time for me, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, when I ran into this keyboard player way back when my career was in a transition. And I'll never forget, I saw him perform, and my wife told him that I was a producer and I wanted to play some of my stuff for him. And he said, okay, but it's gonna cost. And I at that time I remember in my career I was kind of insulted because I was Harry Middleton, But I understand because time is money, man. Like, you take time out to listen to people's music, and I'll go crazy doing that. So I don't know if I over answered your question. I can't remember at this point. I'm just talking
No, that's a
and
great
being
answer. It's no, it's just a fact. I just wanted to share. Since we do a few similar things, that artists understand. It's like, I mean, everybody coming up, like back in the day when they had tapes or CDs, everybody want to give you a CD. I mean, okay, you got to go back to the hotel. You got to get yourself ready to get on the plane, head back home, and all of that. And
yeah,
I've seen stuff where when I've had people come in my store, people could come in there and give them demos and stuff. They left the demos in the store.
right,
So it's really like, I mean, that was that way. Nowadays, with everything being digital, it's like for
right,
something like for them to get your email address or your Instagram or something to try to contact you, like that.
right, right.
Yeah. Let me see if Dizzy D is available. I got, so far I know Dizzy D and Michael Calhoun had a question. Anybody else got a question? Please raise your hand so I can come to you guys before we move on. But Dizzy D is the operations officer of Tiger Eye Management, program director of Soul 105.3 and Rebel
Mm.
107.9 internet radio consultant for Sirius streaming.
Dizzy
DJ
D.
Dizzy D, are you available now, sir? I know you
Yes,
said you
I
was
am.
under the weather earlier.
Yeah. Just
Go
drugged
ahead.
up real good to make it. Drugged up. What's up, Herb? We talked last
What's
week,
up,
huh?
Dizzy? How you doing, bro? Snuck
All
up
right.
on me.
Yeah. I heard you was gonna be here, so I to take an extra deep dose of medication to make sure I
Are
salute
you
you
all
and all
right?
your work. Yeah, I'm working through some stuff, but I'm here, man. We're here to work. Here
That's
for
what's
you.
up.
Okay, I
That's
got a
what's up.
question, but before the question, kind of like a 30-second, 45-second rant. The question will be is that how a lot of times we say how a person like you can help the previous generation. The question is kind of reverse that. How can you help my generation, boomers, and also your generation, Generation X, to move forward, to roll up our sleeves, to work with the younger generation? I say that because too many of my generation and also yours, Generation X, we romanticize about the past. Everything was better back then. Music was better, baking was better, and it just keeps going on and on. And we're not workers, and really, we created hip hop. I mean, we were innovators, creators. We created EDM and every form of house music, every subgenre of that. I mean, we
Right,
were doers of the work, and we got busy. And you're a perfect example of that. But right
right,
now, some of us have gotten soft and we complain about the current state of music and the current state of the world the way it is right now in the industry, but we're not doers, we're not creators. And we got this excellent software that's out there right now. We can get back in the studio like me, work with younger DJs and so forth, but we've got to be creators as we once were instead of, looking at the past and working with stone knives and bear skins and romanticizing
right.
the old days. So, what advice would you give to our generation that created where you are right now to get busy again, to get back to the work?
I would encourage that our generation go back to their first love because there's been a whole lot of things that have translated, a whole lot of music that has come out and has kind of robbed a lot of us of our passion.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of reversed the tape before it got that way mentally, creatively, and come up with ideas and just have fun. It used to be fun, you know what I'm saying? And just
Mm-hmm.
because you get older doesn't mean that you can't have fun no more. I think I would encourage everybody to go back to the times and listen to the old oldies and get some new inspiration because now we got AI that's trying to take the creativity away, man. There's so many things that I mean, you don't like you used to have to go to a studio to produce. Now you could produce in your bathroom. You could produce in your closet. Like I produced the artist that recorded in a closet in Canada, and it came out great. I put a mix on it, but you know what I'm saying? These people have to they got to go back to the days to the days of old and bring it up to date, and then network. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like don't be scared. Don't be scared to get in the room with people and not compete. Help each other. You feel me? Like
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what we need to do. There's nothing to prove anymore because anybody could do anything. People could pay for a hit. It could sound as like crap, crap, crap. But if you got the bread, you could pay for a hit. So it's we got to go back to the basics. You know what I'm saying? That's what I suggest.
I can go for that. I appreciate that.
hmm Yeah, no problem, man. I'm just keeping it 100 with you.
Okay, and I'll call you tomorrow.
Oh, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, we gotta link up anyway.
Yeah, we're working on it. Just later right now, we got several projects that Herb and I that we're working on.
Yeah.
Producer named Ayana up in New York hit me to him 2 months ago, 3 months ago. We've been uh, kicking it since then. So I appreciate the connection and also you heard. So
Yeah, appreciate you, Dizzy. Let's do it, man.
okay.
All right, let's see if this person is available. Multi-platinum Grammy Award winner Michael J. Calhoun, um, co-founder of the Kinsman Dazz Band, had the song "Let It Whip" back in 1982. Also now
Mm,
doing went from Kinsman Dazz Band to Dazz Band. Now he's also doing Kinsman Dazz Band again. Has some amazing things going on. He's made history in the last couple of years by charting in 6 different genres of music. Michael, are you available?
Yes, yes, yes.
Go ahead,
Very
Michael.
well. Oh, yes, yes. Nice to meet you, Herb.
nice to meet you. Salute, sir.
Salute to you, my friend. Yeah, man. I'm from that second, maybe third, yeah, second generation of funk. You had James
Okay.
Brown, and Dyke and the Blazers back in the early '60s, and then you got to the '70s funk, and that's like where I'm at. Some of my
Right.
friends, like contemporaries, like Mike Hampton. I grew up with him. You know, Steve Arrington and those guys from Dayton. I know all those guys, and then we ended up playing gigs together. But I got a question for you. I can tell a lot by how a person answers this. What I'm about to ask you. Are you in the funk at all? Are you a funky
Yeah.
man? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a funk artist on the label. His name is John the Bossman Hall. He does James
Okay.
Brown.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You got to know how to dance to really appreciate funk. You know what I mean? I was a
Well,
dancer.
I can't dance, but I know my funk.
You know your funk. You like Sir Nose devoid of funk. Well, check
Yeah.
this. Check, who would you say is on your funk Mount Rushmore? Four funk artists that are like the Mount Rushmore of funk. Who would you name your four?
Prince, James
Okay.
Brown,
Okay.
uh, the Daz. You said the Daz band.
Oh man, I'm honored. No, but I mean single artists. But hey, that's an honor.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
Mike.
when I play the bass, so you know,
Yeah,
that, and I played the drums early on too. So
yeah.
the Daz band, like that funk was there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um,
Especially the early funk, Daz band. But what were
yeah.
you gonna say, brother? Yeah, yeah. We
Uh,
had Kevin Kendricks in the group. He later on went and wrote for Cameo and played with them for a while. He's from Indianapolis, but Kevin Kendrick, Mike Wiley, Ike Wiley.
okay.
Those are,
Cameo comes around. The Cameo's definitely got that funk. Cameo has is ridiculous as well. You know.
hmm Well, I didn't get to hear the other two of your people on Funk Mount Rushmore.
Well, I'm lost with what you just said. To be honest, funk route.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, you mentioned James Brown, you mentioned Prince, didn't you?
I been mentioned Prince.
And two more.
Oh, I said the Daz band, like don't.
Well, like I'm honored. I'm truly honored. But I was just talking. I'm gonna tell you my four.
Okay,
Prince, and in this order: James Brown, and
right.
then Sly Stone, and then
Wow, I forgot.
George. Yeah, yeah, Sly Stone, George Clinton, and then Prince. I
Wow.
would, yeah, yeah, yeah. And how about the Holy Trinity? And I'm not gonna hold you long, but the Holy Trinity of funk songs. What three songs do you think were just the top of all funk songs ever? And then I'll let you go. I'm gonna move on. I don't want to take up too much
I'm
time.
I'm gonna be stuck on that right now, Michael, because my brain is like I was up at 3 o'clock this morning, and I tell you, I'm working on zero right now.
Oh, ain't
My
no problem. No problem. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
I'll give you.
but I do know what I do know is the
Mhm.
sound of funk. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah. I hear you.
like as far as the memory right now, it's
Right.
so distant from me because it's far and few between, you know, it hasn't been at the top of my list, but when I do it, I know how to get funky. Like,
Okay, I got you. How old are you?
I'm 61.
Oh, okay, okay. I got you by a few years. 68, 69 on the 23rd.
Hey,
God willing, I make it.
we wise bucks.
Yeah, we well, you old enough to know this. This is my three, and I'm gonna let you go. Number one, I Got the Feeling by James Brown. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Number two, Knee Deep by Parliament Funkadelic, George Clinton.
Uh-huh.
Number three, More Bounce by Roger and Zapp. That's the Trinity. That's the funk Trinity. You top those three, I give you a cigar. A
That's
Cuban. A
that's
Cuban.
definitely above my pay grade. But I'm gonna share some names that I was just thinking about, and that's because it seems like people say that whenever black people get married or whatever, they gotta hear "Candy" by Cameo. You know, like in the movie
Oh
that they
yeah, yeah,
played.
yeah. That's funky.
Yeah,
That's
best man, the best man.
that's
Yeah,
good.
best
That's
man,
stank.
right?
Yeah, yeah, that's stank funk. Yeah, that's
And
funky.
actually, like
Yeah.
in watching that movie and enjoying the movie, seeing everybody in there, that ending really, I really loved the ending when they was dancing on Candy. That was really great. It stuck in my head for years after
Yeah,
that.
that's a
It was a
that's a
good movie.
classic.
And
Yeah.
then um, what's the one? Funkadelics when they first came out with like me and my folks, you and your folks, that whole thing.
Hmm.
Maggot Brain, something
Yeah.
like that. They're just strictly like crazy music.
Yeah.
Maggot Brain, um, George Clinton with Atomic Dog, because I'm Alpha
Oh
Phi Alpha, and
yeah.
those Q dogs, Q Sci-Fi used to get on my nerve when every time Atomic Dog come on, they just lose their mind and get on the dance floor. So I can't never forget Atomic Dog. That's like their theme
Yeah.
song.
Love
But
Right.
some of the
Atomic
Right.
Dog.
famous some of the famous Qs are like people like Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, just Jesse Jackson, believe it or not. There's a lot of people. I see you, Chad, and I see you, Jason. I'm gonna get to y'all. Um, it's just amazing to see people like how they treat the different songs by being in different fraternities and stuff. But yeah, that the Mothership album,
Yeah.
by them. Matter of fact, one of my stores up in Lee Harvard, the Joy Music, Michael, back in the day, we had made a plan to have the Mothership land in the Lee Harvard Shopping Center. We went to get the insurance from Lords of London and all of that, but at the last minute they decided not to do it. That was going to be
Hmm.
something. Of course, that was way before social media and all of that. But imagine
Right.
the mothership landed in a parking lot, some kind of way. How we going to do it with one of those cranes or whatever? But that was going to be
Hmm.
something that was going to happen.
Hmm.
Okay, go ahead, Chad. You on mute?
Thanks, Kermit. Thanks. Hey, how y'all doing? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
what's up, man? Yeah.
Hey,
Is that the Chad I know?
yeah,
Yep.
hey, Michael. How you doing, man?
Hey man, good to see you.
Hey, Herb. Nice to meet you, man. I just was
Nice to
checking
meet
out checking out the website, Moontown City. Really interesting company. I really applaud what you guys are doing. The humanitarian stuff is really
you.
cool.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
I like the
Thank you.
structure and everything. I wanted to ask you real quick before I do that. I just wanted to piggyback on Michael J. Calhoun's funk funk career. You just
Fuck inquiry.
you
Yeah.
left a few of my favorites out as a horn player. You got to mention Tower of Power.
Oh yeah, you
Right.
know that.
See?
Yeah, Dave
See?
Garibaldi. Yeah, man. I
Yeah,
know.
like
Yeah,
what is
Rico
it?
Presti. Yeah,
What
they're bad, man. Wicked
really
bad.
big?
Wicked.
I used to play in
Love it.
Tower of Power tribute bands, man.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was
They also opened up a funk school.
Hey, that in Dayton, Ohio, David Webb is going to be a guest with Kermit next week, I think. Didn't you say that, Kermit? David Webb, he has the funk capital of the world down in Dayton. He has a
Yeah, he
funk
has
center.
the Funk Museum, but no, it's not going to be next
Yeah.
week. But it's going to be sometime soon, though,
Oh,
because he
okay, okay.
he wants to do a very special thing. By the way, I'll tell you about that later. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
not going. Next time we're going to actually have somebody from the group Slave.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
from the
my
group
Yes.
God.
Slave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Steve Arrington. Yeah, man. That's my
They're
those are
bringing
my
it back now.
That's the cats.
Matter of fact, it's Donald Bell that was enslaved back in the day. That's who we're gonna have
Okay,
next time. 2 weeks from
beautiful,
today, July
wonderful.
15th. That's who we got there, and then we'll probably have David Webb from the Funk Museum after that.
Yeah, wonderful. That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Chad, will you still continue your question?
Yes, I will. Thanks.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't want to keep you here, but so just trying to kind of get a feel for what Moontown City does. I understand your role as producer and owner of the business. Just kind of looking through, the hierarchy and things that you do. What do you guys do in terms of like licensing and with music for like TV and film production and things like that?
We're presently building our catalog right now, and just so you know, with
Yeah,
Chad, right? Yeah,
yeah,
Chad. We're presently building our catalog, because we're leaning. When I originally built a company, I really wanted to make it more publishing, more on, that be the focus. But obviously, I can't get away from wanting to develop artists. I'm still from that school of artist development. So we're like I said, we're in the process of building the catalogs so that we can dive into the licensing situations. We actually just got our first placement, not two placements this year. With one on Good Morning America, we got the theme song for that, and we got this movie called The Conspiracist. We got some music on that movie coming up, and so we are not against networking with other companies. You know, we believe in we can all eat.
yeah. Nice. Okay,
You
cool.
know, and the company is Moontown Records and Publishing. MoontownTunes.com is going to be was just created. That's going to be developed even more. But what that is holding our catalog music. We have a large catalog, so a lot of that music will be on and for sale. And as we create the catalog and transfer the music to that Moontown Tunes, we'll use that also for licensing.
Cool. So like you are kind of incorporating the artists that you manage as well and like helping their music find their way into publishing and licensing deals as well and
Exactly.
building that catalog up and then
Yep.
yeah, and kind of integrating those businesses together.
You got it.
That's really cool.
Boy, you got it.
Chad is a young upcoming producer. He's done some things for me. Like I look at him like as the Barry White, because he sent me a track that was like a Love Unlimited orchestra type thing where you can hear like 50 people playing music. And that's the kind of
Wow.
stuff,
Chad?
I like things that's different. You know what I'm saying? I want, like even in the music industry, we're not looking for clones of nobody. We're looking for what's the next different person, who's going to set the next trend. That's what we're looking for.
Right. Right.
Yeah, like I came up as, classically trained in woodwind instruments, saxophone, clarinet, flute, piano, guitar, drums. I play a lot of instruments like you. I was reading your background. You play drums and bass and you picked up instruments quickly and learned all of that. And then, I've always been a songwriter, producer, composer, and I find it hard to pin myself into one genre. I love jazz, I love funk, I love soul, I love gospel, I love world music, Latin music, salsa bands, all that stuff. So like I sit down and write, and it's just all of these genres are feeding into my brain, and it all kind of comes out in my music. You know what I mean? So
I love you, man. We should hook up.
absolutely, man. Yeah.
We should hook up because I'm the same way. I sometimes I end up fusing. Sometimes I end up fusing one genre together. I'm like creative. If somebody did it, I don't want to do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really big on history and not for bragging rights, but just for free creativity of the gift,
Yeah.
I
And
hear you.
yeah, we have a Legends show that we're developing, and it has sounded like sound. That's just for sounded like artists. Like we have a Barry White, we have a Phylis Hyman, we have a Teddy Pendergrass. You know, just we have a Las Vegas on wheels that we're developing,
Mm.
and that's really to pay homage because these great voices are gone, but
Yeah.
they're, so it's a great show that we're developing. But
Hmm.
even with those artists, I'm looking to take their careers and give them the originality. You know what I'm saying? Like you was saying, Kermit, like
Right.
it's
Yeah.
nothing like a new sound.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, of course, it's really important to respect and honor those innovators. You know what I mean? You gotta love and respect what they do and pay tribute to it. But then
Yes,
you gotta let that inform you to go forward and create something new. You know,
exactly.
and you
Well,
can't
Chad,
copy and copy.
we gotta hook up. You talking my language, buddy.
All right, man. Well, it's great to meet you, and yeah, I look forward to
Mike,
chatting.
Mike too. We need to form something. We
Oh
need to
yeah,
form
brother.
something new.
Yeah,
Like,
man. Yeah, you're a heavy brother, man. I love that. That's a good thing. Let's do it.
Yeah,
yeah,
what people
yeah,
don't
for
understand
real.
about the music industry is that it's all about relationships. It's not just
Mm,
about money or this or
it's
gold and
about
platinum and
relationship.
whatever. It's like things like this. You never know who you would meet. I mean, if a person doesn't jump on here, say if Chad
Right.
wasn't able to get on here
Right.
or
Right.
Mike wasn't available or Dizzy D, who you're already working with, then you never know what kind of relationship you can develop. Plus I've been knowing
Right,
Lucky for a long time, and the way the guy that works promoting your label, Lucky Smith out of
right.
Indianapolis. He's had
Yeah.
some amazing conferences. He does conferences. Has a magazine. He does so many. Matter of fact, I'm a little jealous of him. He's so great. I'm a little bit jealous of him. But I was at one of his conferences, by the way, heard, and the president of Death Row was there, Kevin Black,
Oh wow. Oh yeah.
and he called me up on stage. I was surprised. He called me up on stage and said, "This man here," he said, "Death Row wouldn't be where it was today if it wasn't for this man." I was so happy to have that. Actually, have it on my YouTube channel because I know people don't want to believe it. Then a couple of years after that, he came to Ohio and presented me with a Living Legend award. So I'm just honored that somebody that was a former president of a major label like Death Row Records, actually recognized me like that. That's
Yeah.
Right, right.
like we talk about
Yeah,
your moments. That's definitely was a moment for me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
yeah,
it's like I said, it's all about relationships. Who you know, what you know, who you know, and all of that. So I'm glad
Yeah.
that
yeah.
that you're already working with Dizzy D and that you want to do something with Chad or Michael Calhoun. It's all about networking. And
It it
even
it
me at 70
really
years old,
is.
you're never too old to learn something. That's one thing I try to tell people. I do not think I know everything. I think I know a lot of things, but it's all about networking. Okay. Anybody else
All
have any
about it.
questions other than I think Jason Vox is next? Anybody else have a question? Please raise your hand. Go ahead, Jason.
Hey, great to meet you, Herb. And this is like a cool call. I mean, I've been on these for a few weeks now. As
Mm.
a young artist, I like to hear you talk about love, the love of the game. I mean, I was discovered by, I don't know if you know this gentleman's name, but he was my brother from another mother, really. Keith Martin, who was Boys to Men and then
Yeah.
came on to Columbia Rough House.
Yeah. I don't. His name doesn't ring a bell. But go ahead, bro. Hello.
You're on mute, Jason. Jason, you're on mute.
Okay. So it's if you check out Never Find Someone Like You, he did a song on the soundtrack with Bad Boys too. But
Okay.
anyway, so yeah, yeah. But so I owe a lot of credit to him, let me know that it's all about the love, of music and understanding Parliament Funkadelic, understanding George Clinton, understanding Zap. I heard someone mention Zap, and that's definitely one of
Yeah.
my favorites. In
Yeah.
fact, I hope I'm doing, proper homage with the song that we just released called Out of Breath, because it's funky, and I miss that from the musical landscape. Bruno is
Mhm.
definitely one of my favorites. But anyway, I just wanted to, tap in and say that I appreciate that you're talking about more than, just I guess you could say the business side, the money side, because even when I've been asked questions in interviews, that's usually my response, something along those lines. Like, you have to care about the fact that this is your journey in life. This is what you were put on this earth to do. And if you aren't on that level, the people will drive you nuts, all the politicking and all that.
Oh, you said a mouthful.
Yeah.
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 It literally can become a rat race. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you get to a certain place in life, you know, everything that you do, you should enjoy. If you're not enjoying what you do, it's work. I don't like work.
Yeah, there you go. I agree with you all the way. If it ain't fun, I ain't doing
Yep.
Yeah.
it.
And then so the converse to that is, if it is,
You're on mute
Somebody,
again. Jason.
Jason, we can't hear you. Maybe he's going in and out of signals. But
Yeah.
I get back to him. I got Funky Skunk next, but I want to before I do that, I want to shout out to a
yeah.
young lady that's on here named Sing Like Philly. She's an artist. I was actually on a Zoom call earlier that she was on. I've been knowing her for like 4 years on Clubhouse. Amazing young lady. She's more than just beautiful. She's actually amazing. Got a great personality, and I'm glad she was able to pop on here for a minute. Just want to shout her out. Um, I think she's from the Bay Area. I don't know. Maybe she can talk later. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's where Jason, by the way, is an upcoming artist. He's already had a number one record already, and he's already charted in Billboard, did a lot of stuff and doing shows and stuff. So he's coming up too. So we got a lot of people on here that's doing some things. They may not be where like a Herb Middleton is yet, or Michael J. Calhoun or a Funky Skunk, but they on their way.
Yeah,
And
but I
speaking
just
of
want to say
Funky,
it's
that's all it
inspirational
is.
too. Yeah.
go ahead,
I
Jason.
just want
Finish
to
your thing, and I'm gonna go to Paul when you finish.
Oh yeah. Well, just on the strength of what you were saying, like, it's inspirational. Yeah, because I haven't gotten to where I know I'm destined to be, but I'm loving every minute of it. And calls like this really are a huge inspiration. Probably write something tonight.
Oh,
Yep.
good. That I'm
Good.
glad. I'm glad. Yep. Keep going. Keep enjoying the
Yeah.
journey, brother.
Can't wait to hear you sing Friday night, Jason, I'm sorry.
Appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
Yeah. I hope you like that song.
Okay, Paul Funky Skunk Thomas from Indianapolis, Indiana. Go right ahead.
Hey, I just wanted to say salute to the whole room, and plus a man here, Herb Middleton. Your reputation precedes you. We
Mm.
both been out here doing this for a long time. Uh, I know most of them niggas, them death row niggas. Some of them more personally than others, but I was involved in the whole culture before even Dre and Easy got together with the Ruthless Records thing, because Jerry Heller was one of our managers back in that I worked with. He's the first Hollywood manager I worked with in '81, and I was with a band called LTD, and we were all funk bands. Jerry Heller started off with all the funk and rock and people like that, and it was a management group that I learned about him. When it turned around and came with the rap thing, I was tripping because I found out I had moved back here and put my own records out and got away from being with LTD band. And then I found out about him doing the Ruthless thing and then the Death Row thing. So I was still involved on the under with a friend of mine. I don't know how far back you go. Do you go back to the Chronic and before the Chronic?
Yeah, I gotta say that I do, but I wasn't really familiar with it at the time.
One of my homies, James Baker. Have you ever heard of him? He was
Mm,
the leader of a band called New Birth, and they had the record uh, "Been Such a Long Time." Boom, boom, boom,
the
boom.
the new birth.
This beat had been sampled. Boom, papa, boom, boom, papa, boom, boom, bing, doom, doom, doom. You know what I'm talking about? Boom, 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 boom. Anyway, that band had broken up, and James had gotten with me and told me that he was doing some things wanted me to come back out to LA because he knew I had some funky vibes, right? Come to find out, I didn't get back in touch with him. Come to find out, a couple of like 2 or 3 months later, New Birth came here and was performing. Just the singers, Melvin, Preacher Wilson, and his wife Barbara. Barbara, he said, man, Barbara, we've been doing some things with these rappers. Barbara's singing on that Fridays thing. That ding ding dong, ding da ding ding ding. And I said, and he said, man, we've been doing that stuff since back with the Chronic. I said, hold on, man. Baker got to try to get a hold of me to come out there. So if Baker died of a heart attack not long after that. Had he not died, I was probably going to be back out there and working on that Chronic album, playing live instruments and stuff like that. They had a lot of live sampling on it. It wasn't sampled. You know, you have a person replay the track. I've been doing that all my life. I did stuff for DJ Tool and Carl Perkins and them down in Atlanta. You know, Tool did all that T.I. stuff and all that. So my shout is out to you on what you've done with that culture. And I didn't want to be on here and not say nothing. I came in late because I'm working on some tracks here right now, but I just wanted to say that I'm gonna land the plane now because I got long-winded. You know what I mean? But my brother, maybe one day we'll meet in person. But I'll be out in LA all the time and I'll do concerts and all that. I have my own character called the Funky Skunk and a cartoon series called Welcome to Skunkville. That I'm trying.
You know Aaron Taylor?
Who?
Aaron Taylor.
I know a couple.
Tom Taylor.
I know a couple of Eric Taylors.
Okay, he was the voice on the Chronic. That started out when Rodney King.
Like the radio personality dude?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know him, but I know who you're talking about. But I also know my boy that died, Harris. That was Tadal. His name Ricky Harris, wasn't it? He passed away a few years ago.
Oh, yeah, I'm not.
Are you talking about the W Balls guy? The radio announcer on the Chronic?
The one that the brother that's actually started out the Chronic, he started talking. I can't remember what he said verbatim, but
right.
But I'm working with him right now. It's got a real hot thing coming. It's definitely new.
I would love to get your information. Have Cameron give you my information, man, and we can collab on some stuff. You live in LA, right?
No, sir. I live in Delaware.
Oh, okay.
I put his information in the chat, Paul. I put his website and everything, his contact information and everything on his website.
Okay, I'll be coming to Portland.
Or text me and I'll send it to you later.
Right on. I'll be coming to Portland August the 9th for the official West Coast Hip Hop Awards. I'm getting another award for Funk Artist of the Year. And hopefully I think Bootsy and Patty's supposed to be out there also. So, but there's a lot of them guys that are going to be out there. They out there every year. You know what I'm saying? They're from that era and all that. Like Corrupt and all them, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, it's an honor to talk to you. Honor to be on this. Man, let's get together and have them speakers bumping.
Well, if you enjoy talking to Herb, send Lucky a cash app. We got
Lucky
DJ
Smith.
Headrush from Indianapolis.
Shout out to Lucky.
Lucky Smith.
Lucky Smith. That's his contact.
Oh, okay. That's my guy. Lucky been around since a kid around me back in the day, you know.
Right.
You know, I was the OG, came back in, I became the Dr. Dre in Indianapolis, and Lucky and all that. Lucky was the promoting back then. He's a hustler, for real.
Yeah. Like I say, Lucky's amazing. Of course, I'm a good
You
liar, too.
Shout out to Lucky.
Your Lucky's amazing, but of course, I'm a good liar, too. But we got DJ Headrush coming up next. Thank you, Paul. We got DJ Headrush from Indianapolis, Indiana. DJ Headrush is a part of Strong Side Radio Throwdown Thursday. It's on the same link tree, but it's on Thursday night. Go ahead, DJ Headrush. I know you on here going to be talking about some old school music. Go ahead, Headrush.
Well, I wouldn't consider it old school, but I was just going to salute. First of all, salute to everybody on the call. Herb, thanks for
Salute.
jumping on with us, man.
Oh, no
But
problem.
we're gonna get a chance to get into a deeper conversation here soon. But I just wanted to know, you responsible for, or should I say, you've got writing credits on some of the biggest songs that was put out through that stretch of the '90s by SWV, Mary J. Blige, Faith, Usher. Like you got a hell of a catalog, right? So
Mm.
looking at how you all constructed R&B then and created those hit records, what would you say is the missing link in artists creating R&B records right now?
Uh, ask the last part of that question because it was very good. Just hit me again with it.
What do you feel is the missing link that R&B artists don't have to create hit records right now? Because everybody has this thought process that R&B is dead when sure enough, I know it's not because I listen to a lot of R&B that's new and old, but it's just sometimes it just doesn't hit like, you know, uh, uh, Be Without You by Mary J, you know what I'm saying? Or Use
Right,
Your
right,
Heart by SWV. It don't hit like that. It's like those are
right,
classic
right,
songs. They never die, you know what I'm saying?
right.
So
Mhm.
what's the missing link that artists don't have or that they're not using right now to
They
create?
they they lack substance. They lack
Yep.
substance.
Yeah.
They
You're right.
they lack substance, and artists are like they copy. They're influenced by whatever's happening, and
Yes, sir.
as a result, the cycle of that makes everybody sound the same.
Yep. You nailed it.
That's it.
Understood.
Yeah, you nailed
Understood.
Oh, I was
Uh,
hoping you
uh,
didn't say AI.
it.
that's another conversation for another time.
Oh, that is a
Yeah.
good conversation that'll take us into the fall because it's ridiculous right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Right.
because yeah, I don't want to open that box right now because it's 10 p.m. our time. Yeah, it'll be a
Yeah,
long
man.
night.
Yeah, really, really.
Did you have
It'll
something
be a
else?
long
Yeah,
night. No,
yeah, Russ,
no,
you have
that
something
was
else
it.
before I go to sing like Philly?
No, sir, that's it.
Okay.
I'm gonna
All
keep it
right. Then
brief right there.
the
Appreciate you.
lovely, intelligent artists, R&Bs, rap, hip hop, everything, sing like Philly. Go ahead.
Hey guys, what's going on? I'm just tapping in, just seeing what this is about. I kind of just came in super late last minute. Here, let me turn my camera on, my bad. That's rude. But yeah, I'm from the Bay Area in California. But I don't know, do you have any questions or like I'm not really sure like what the whole topic, like just kind of just trying to figure out.
Oh, we just talking about whatever comes up.
Yeah, we're just vibing.
We vibing. Welcome to the show.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, thank
yeah.
you for the invite, ECMD. I met him a few years ago on Clubhouse, when I first like really started doing music. So I felt like that was dope. He's always been a cool person to speak with, always giving insight. So I definitely appreciate him for always like trying to bring me into rooms. Um, I just started back making music again recently, um, about a few months ago. And I do have like a new single that I just dropped. If you guys want to take a listen to it, it's at Sing Like Philly on all social media platforms or any streaming platforms, Sing Like Philly.
Put your
But other
Instagram in
than
the chat. Put your Instagram in the chat or whatever you want to put
okay,
in the chat.
Yeah, yeah,
got you,
yeah. Do
got
that.
Let
you.
me
Do
say this
do
about,
that.
excuse for cutting y'all sing like Philly, but let me just tell you something that she did for me, the old man. She used to do a room where you come in and you write for how many minutes was that? 10 minutes?
Yeah, 10-minute writing session.
10-minute writing session. And she had me come in there and I'm like multitasking, I'm busy. Like, I ain't got time for this, but I want to support her because she support me, right? So I go in there and I start writing stuff and I actually had some stuff that was pretty good, thanks to her. And I was kind of sad that she stopped doing that room because I was really like a great student of hers coming in there writing and stuff because that wasn't really my thing. So I want to definitely salute to her for some of the great things she did on Clubhouse. And I guess she's coming back now. Maybe she's going through some ups and downs or whatever in a real life, and now she's coming back strong, doing whatever. So I'm here to help her out. Glad she came on here. Glad you guys get a chance to know her. She's gonna put her Instagram in the chat. You can contact her directly. Like I said, everybody, Herb put his, I put Herb's website in there where you can contact him right at the website or whatever, or you can join him on his Instagram. It's Herb Middleton is the name. You can just look up for the Instagram thing. So, yeah, I just wanted to say that, Sing Like Phil, I just wanted to publicly thank you for how you helped me, even in the writing. So people like Mike Calhoun, multi-platinum Grammy winner Mike Calhoun, better watch out, because I'm about to write a hit. Herb too, better sit back and watch. And I might write it with Lucky, so I make sure y'all pay attention to it, because then he'll promote it.
It's enough money for everybody. It's enough
go ahead,
money
sing like Philly. Sorry for cutting you off.
Yep.
Go ahead, sing like Philly. Will you finish?
Yeah. So I did just drop an R&B track. I see you guys are talking about R&B. Definitely taking notes always. Like, I'm always a student. I'm gonna always be a student. I will never be a pro at this. I feel like that's how everybody should feel really in the game. You're gonna always be a student at this. So that's just me. Definitely taking notes.
You can still be a pro. You can still be a pro and still learn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. Student of the game.
For sure. No, definitely. So yeah, just kind of, I like to listen to a lot of different conversations from people. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah. Stay humble like her, and myself. To stay humble.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah. No matter how many accolades, stay humble. God give us, God take us away.
Yeah.
How many plaques you got behind you, Mike?
Oh man, it's about 5, 6 over here, and about 15 on the other wall. And Grammy and all kinds of other stuff that you've worked with me on and we've achieved.
Okay.
To God be the glory.
Thank you for giving me some kind of credit on it.
Whole lot of credit, man.
Did anyone else have any questions on here tonight? So before we almost get out of here, I got a few questions after I cut off YouTube. Anybody else got any questions? Going once. You can unmute. If you don't know how to raise your hand, you can unmute. Going once, going twice, going 3 times. Okay, hold on, let me go up to the